All right, guys, week 2 of the college football season is in the book, so let's go ahead and break it down. I'm going to give you my winners and losers of the week. Let's go ahead and dive into it, shall we? All right, so starting with the morning slate this morning. All right, the obvious winner here of the day is Texas, looking super dominant over Michigan, 31-12. Texas, I would say, probably moves up to number 2 with this win, and they look legit here. I didn't know exactly how it would look. Going into Ann Arbor is never easy. Quinn Ewers, the only active Ohio State player at some point that's currently still playing that has played for Ohio State that has beaten Michigan. So that's a fun fact for you there, a fun stat to keep an eye on if you're an Ohio State fan. But Texas looks the part here. Quinn Ewers, that offense is looking good. Michigan, they got a lot of issues. They're going to have to get some things fixed. How bad is Alex Orgy right now? The fact that he can't get in as that starting quarterback, I really don't know. But Texas looks the part to me. They look like a college football playoff team. As far as the rest of their schedule, I think they're going to be fine. Now you got those rivalry games with Oklahoma and A&M, but other than that, you just got to beat Georgia. But Michigan is a loser of the week for me as well. Sharon Moore, it might be a rough go this year. I don't know. Now Texas might just be really good, but this is not looking good for Michigan. That's all I got to say pretty much there. Uh, Almost a loser, Alabama. They kind of struggled for a little bit there with South Florida. I realize the score 42-16, but if you watch that game, it was nowhere near that close. But the obvious loser right now, Notre Dame. All right, losing at home to Northern Illinois 16-14. And this is kind of the tell of the Marcus Freeman story here. Now, Marcus Freeman's a loser here as well, in my opinion. I mean, this is kind of the tell here. Every year almost, you think back to that Marshall game a couple years ago, they lose a game like this where they shouldn't lose. And if they don't make the playoff this year, Marcus Freeman's hot seat is definitely going to heat up because you have a good one last week at Kyle Field and A&M. That's a huge win, get you into the top 10 and then top 5 even, and then you go out and perform like this. This just kind of this, you know, it's what happens every year with Marcus Freeman. So I'm not necessarily surprised, but it's not good. All right. Winner for me as well, though. Ole Miss, they look good, even though they're playing a, so-so team. Loser, Oregon. They have no business being in the top 10. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Boise State, I know they're a popular G5 pick for everybody to make the college football playoff. They were one game over 500 last year, and they have no business playing with Oregon if Oregon's a top 10 team. Oregon needs to drop to probably like 20th. I'm not saying take them out of the top 25. They've got talent, yes, but they need to drop for sure. Definitely don't want to be in the top 10. They probably still will be because the polls love them, fans love them. But Boise State, again, one game over 500 last year. Oregon should be killing this team at home, and they didn't. And I don't know. I don't know what the recipe here is for Oregon to turn it on, but if they can't block Boise State's defensive line, imagine what Big Ten country is about to do to them. They're about to skull crush them every game, and it's not going to be pretty. Oregon's going to have some issues, I think, once they get into Big Ten play, and I think they're going to get bullied around. I don't know what they need to change or if that'll happen, but from what I've seen so far, that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. Because if Boise State just doesn't kick it or punt it, like if they squib it every time, they win this game. Penn State, close call there. Missouri, we'll find out about them next week. But probably the most obvious winner for most people besides Texas is Tennessee. Looked really dominant here, 51-10. I thought this game would be close. I'll be real with you. I thought NC State had a chance at winning the ACC. They still could. But Tennessee looks like a top 10 team to me right now. Like, for sure, no argument about it. A top 10 team. Nico looks the part. They went off here. Even punished them on the ground. As you can see, 132 yards through the ground, uh, running the ball. And Tennessee just bullied NC State, did whatever they wanted to them. And, yeah, I mean, Tennessee is going to move up. They're looking like they could be a playoff team here. They have a good schedule now. This was the one game kind of non-conference-wise I thought they might struggle with. As for NC State, kind of showing the ACC is probably fairly weak now because NC State's probably going to be a top 5 ACC team, but this just shows you the level of parity here. And this is kind of what I was saying in other videos previously going into the season, that some of these games are going to really impact the race in the college football playoff. So you've got, USC beat LSU, teams that might not make the playoff, but you could see it impact as far as, okay, the Big Ten is going to get 4 teams in because their fourth best team is better than the fourth best team in the SEC. That's something you could see here with a similar scenario there. So Tennessee, big winners here. NC State, definitely losers. Other than that, though, Oklahoma, almost a loser. They struggle with Houston, and this is a Houston team that lost by 20 to UNLV last week. And I think Oklahoma might be a loser in the long run too, giving Brent Venables that extension. I think that was a mistake. Going into the SEC and without Dylan Gabriel, he has not shown he can do anything. I think that extension was definitely a mistake. Oklahoma State stinks a close one out over Arkansas. Tulane almost gets the win over Kansas. We'll see. Tulane's got Oklahoma next week, so they might can pull that one off. Kansas. Now, I did see this one coming. I picked Illinois, actually. So I thought that upset would happen, but Kansas, Daniels didn't have a good day. He had an off day, threw a lot of picks, and Kansas might get upset again next week. They play UNLV. Iowa State, Iowa, that's always a good game right there. You got a rivalry game. Iowa still in good shape. You just got to keep playing. That's always a rivalry game, so it's going to be close, and it's a coin flip. As for Iowa State, this should put them in the top 25 most likely. And when that happens, I think they are a Big 12 contender. They have a lot coming back from last year. We'll see how that goes. Clemson, big winner. All right. So they put up like 50 points on Appalachian State in the first half. And this Appalachian State team that I thought, or I think is a top 5 G5 school. So that's a big win there for Clemson. Good bounce back win after that performance last week, against Georgia. Last one I want to talk about here, Georgia Tech and Syracuse. How about Syracuse? Big winner here, Kyle McCord. Syracuse could sneak in the top 25. We'll see if that happens. But Kyle McCord at Syracuse, big winner, and Syracuse could be on the come up. We'll see. They got a really favorable schedule. We'll see what happens there. And one thing I did see was like, what if this would have happened? What if Kyle McCord actually would have went to Michigan? How much better would that make Michigan? Fun to think about. Think about that. Let me know. But the last one here before I forget is South Carolina. They look good over Kentucky. We'll see if that translates in. They got LSU next week, but to be determined. But who did I miss? Who are your winners and losers of the week? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.